Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, back with a special video. This time I've decided to go through my Eastern Eye collection. Eastern Eye is an Australian sub-label of Madman Entertainment, and they are focused on Asian films only. Lots of martial arts, lots of action, lots of horror, all kinds of stuff, but it's always from Japan, Hong Kong, mainland China, Korea, Thailand. That's pretty much where they focus. So we're going to have a look at that, starting with the box sets, and then moving on from there. Starting off with the box sets, number one is the Ring trilogy. Quite an early Eastern Eye box set here of 3 films. This is back when they used to be part of this thing called AV Channel. The logo will focus there. Not really sure what AV Channel was, but it was always around in the early days of Australian DVD, 99, 2000, 2001, that kind of era. So this is quite an old box set. You get the 3 films, Ring, Ring 2, and Ring 0. Very cool. I still will be getting the Arrow Blu-ray set, but anyway. Following from that, The Grudge, Ju-on 1 and 2. It's got the re-release Eastern Eye original DVDs in these ones. It's a nice box set. Very cool. Good fun films. Classics. The Eye 1 and 2. Nice box. Box is pretty hard to find. Eastern Eye is still a label. They're still doing things, but a lot of their early stuff is just non-existent now. You gotta go hunting. Eye 1 and 2, both good fun films. Directed from the Pang brothers, so definitely recommend watching those ones. Very hard box set to find. Azumi 1 and 2, really cool films. Yeah, 2 films, 1 heroine, many dead bad guys. Rated R. Yep, she is the sort of samurai revenge girl. It's really good fun. Back in sort of feudal Japan time. Yeah, really bloody, really violent, and good fun. And pretty hard to find. Even individually, they're hard to find, but the box set's very hard. Speaking of hard to find, Nigh on Impossible is the Echo Azarak Dark Angel trilogy. Satan worship, lesbian orgies, and buckets of blood. More high-level violence. Finding these individually is hard. Finding this box set is brutally hard. So yes, if you ever find it, pick it up. They are good films, particularly the first one, which is rated R and crazy as. And yeah, it's as it says on the tin. You get what you're paying for. This shows up every now and then, the Infernal Affairs trilogy. Yeah, good crime cinema here. 3 separate DVDs. Good films. Hong Kong crime action. Highly recommended, actually. Particularly the first one. And yeah, but they're all good. But yeah, the first one's really quite special. And the last of the box sets, Godzilla, the Shower Classics Volume 1. These are still in print. Volume 2, Shower Classics. The High Sea series. And lastly, the Millennium series. So these 4 sets will give you most of the films. It's missing a couple. Godzilla 1984, at the time these came out, did not have a DVD release. 1 or 2 others from the early cycle. The names escape me at the moment, but they're not on here. Some of the early 50s ones, not quite there. Godzilla Raids Again, that's not on there. But otherwise, most of them are here. And very good quality box sets in Japanese, and many with English dub as well, which is how my 5-year-old son has been enjoying the entire series multiple times through. Now moving on to the Blu-rays, we'll start with the normal ones first. Reverse alphabetical order. The Yakuza Apocalypse. This is a Takeshi Miike a horror action film, more action than anything else, but it's pretty crazy. It's good fun. Probably still in print, I think. Wu Dang, haven't watched this one yet. There are many I actually have not got to yet. There was an Eastern Eye, well, there's been numerous Eastern Eye sales where sometimes you can pick them up for $5 each. So, yes, I have a backlog. Wu Dang, Hong Kong film. Wrath of the Vajra. Vajra, that could have been rude if I said it wrong. Mainland China. The Thieves. This one looks pretty slick. A sprawling, relentlessly entertaining thriller from South Korea. It's nice. You see how I've been referring to the little flags. So they all have a standard layout. And this is another thing I like about their releases is the uniformity of the layouts. The Suspect. Haven't checked this one out yet. But it's, The Bourne Identity meets Taken. Korean spy thriller. Sex and Zen. Extreme ecstasy. High-impact sex scenes and sexualized violence. Then for a whale of a time there, family viewing indeed. From Hong Kong. Damn. Marantau. From the makers of The Raid. This is pretty crazy. This is before they did The Raid. Really good. High-quality action. Definitely worth checking it out. The Front Line. I have not watched The Front Line. Definitely more of a realistic war drama. South Korea. The Doomsday Book, post-apoc from South Korea. Heard some good things about that one. Bedeviled. This one is pretty messed up. High-impact violence, blood, gore, and sexual violence. Yep. Crazy South Korean stuff, this one. Bedeviled. Jet Li, Badges of Fury. Heard it's a bit average, but I ended up waiting for this to be like $4. Protector 2. I got the first Protector, but that didn't get an Australian Blu-ray. Got that on something American disc. Good old Tony Where's My Elephants? Reign of Assassins. John Woo. And this one was pretty cool. It's pretty polished. And Michelle Yeoh is always good fun to watch. I'm getting a kick out of seeing her in the new Star Trek series. That's just filling me with joy every time she comes on screen. And onto the really good ones here. The Raid and The Raid 2. Everyone knows these films. Original release of The Raid came in a slip. Really cool. Awesome films. Really reinvigorated some Asian action films there. The Gantz. This is the second one. Gantz, Perfect Answer, and Gantz. These are, producers of Death Note. These are from a manga, probably from an anime. Alien attack, superhero type stuff. It's pretty bizarre, but when they come from a manga, they usually are. Shin Godzilla. I really enjoyed this one. This is the latest Japanese Godzilla film. We should be getting another one sometime soon, but they're doing the American ones first. Really good fun film. Original release had a slip, which is really nice. And the last of the Blu-rays, which is upside down, is the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy. I knew I'd say that wrong. So 3 films. These are also from a manga. More feudal Japan. Samurai stuff. I've only watched the first one so far. But they're good. And do recommend. So that's the Blu-rays. So I forgot a few Blu-rays. We've got as well here the Attack on Titan movie collection, the live action series. 1 and 2. Also, and the mini-series, and the name I will not try and butcher, but that's a 3-part mini-series. Next to that, we've got the Death Note movie collection. That's the part 1 and part 2. Unfortunately, L, the third film, sort of spin-off, is only on DVD, but we'll get to that eventually. And lastly, on the end there, we've got the reboot, which I've not yet watched. Okay, and now we're on to the really fun part. This is the original DVD run, when they all had these uniform black covers and red text on them. It's quite the pile there. I've accumulated quite a lot. These are the first ones that came out when the label was born, which is in, as I said, the early days of DVD. and went like this through to the ratings change in 2004. We can see where the logo's changed, and then after this they went more designed cover spines, which we will get to. The first one is one disc only that I found in a Vinnie's, which was a promotional disc. This has got Lady Snowbud and Lone Wolf and Cub and Zatoichi. So it's got 3 films on this disc. Samurai Slashes, the films that inspired Kill Bill. Never to be sold. Remains the property of Madman Entertainment. Surrender on demand. Well, I will not be surrendering it. No idea the story of this thing, but yep, found it in Vinnie's for $1. Alright, so on to the DVDs. Starting at A, we have Arahan, which is actually one I've not watched. Now, the older ones you can tell because they got the old ratings logo. Sometimes they had the AV channel logo as well. But like I was saying, the design of these cases are all uniform. Have the country down the side there. The text on the spine is all the same. And just makes them look pleasing on the shelf. But Urban Martial Arts versus an Ancient Evil. And this is from South Korea, but I have not watched this one yet. So there you go. Arahan. Alive. Been a long time since I watched this one. Ex-rental, unfortunately. Sometimes that's the only way to get them. But this was a sort of sci-fi action. This one pretty crazy from what I remember. Life Worse Than Death. And from director of Versus, Azumi, Godzilla Final Wars, and Origami, which I do have. The next movie, Avalon. Now, this was interesting, if I remember rightly. This is a Japanese and I think it was Polish, like co-production. That was what my memory tells me. But yeah, this was pretty cool. This was like, it was all inside a game, so everyone was basically avatars. But it predates that kind of film, and yeah, pretty interesting take on life inside a video game. So yeah, Avalon, definitely worth checking that one out. And there's Origami, director of Versus, and Azumi again. Ancient Japan, cool photos. Bang Rajan, have not seen this one. 2-disc edition. Roaring Battle Epic, Legend of the Village Warriors. Looks pretty full on, and this one is from Thailand. Tradition of Ong Bak, but yeah, over 2 hours of extras. This is going to be a pretty large disc. Next one, Bichumoon. Now, also, a lot of the early titles had reverse covers that removed the ratings logos, which I know a lot of Americans and such do not like our ratings advice. And yeah, so you could reverse the covers. They stopped doing that, but original ones you can do this on. But this was pretty cool fantasy, feudal Japan. Oh no, South Korea. But it is of that style. And yeah, I remember that one being quite good. Haven't watched it since I got it, which would have been nearly when it came out. Born to Fight, more from the creators of Ong Bak. Non-stop action from Thailand. This one was pretty good. Haven't watched this one yet. Breaking News. Johnny Toe. He does good stuff, so I'm sure I'll like it. Classic Bride with White Hair. And one of those films that Tarantino quite likes. May have used some of in his films. I'm sure you could pick where this all went. The good thing about this edition is that it's anamorphic widescreen. The American disc is not. So if you wanted the anamorphic, hunt down this one. Unfortunately, part 2 is not. It's just letterbox, but that's okay. So was the American one. Bride with White Hair 2. Good films. Stone Cold classic Dark Water. Really good one, this. From the director of Ring. Highly recommended if you've not seen that. Obviously, Godzilla. Not strictly necessary, as I've got those box sets, but it's cool. It's nice to have it. And has the American version as well as the Japanese version, which are very different films. So there you go. The original Australian release of Godzilla. Incident at Blood Pass. This one's very rare, very hard to find. A lot of the samurai epic ones are very hard to find now. Just didn't keep those prints, or they were very short running. I'm not sure. But yeah, this one, I need to get to this one actually. I haven't got to it yet, but that one looks pretty epic. JSA, Joint Security Area, from Korea, about the North Korean and South Korean soldiers and an incident that happens on that border. Kill Kihachi Okamoto. There you go. I think I got that one right. So this is 50s, I think. Feudal Japan Samurai Epic. Kwaidan. This one's really good. 3 parts, I think, from memory. Was it 4? No, might have been 4 parts. 4 parts. Anthology horror, but really classic. You'd almost say it's something like Hammer would do, but it's Japan. Really, 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 really top shelf stuff. Definitely check that one out. Might still be in print. I'm not too sure about that. Master of the Flying Guillotine. This is good fun. The print is the print looks like these screenshots. It's sharp when it wants to be, and it's Vinegar Syndrome when it also wants to be. But it's the best you can get, and it's prefixed with that at the start. Maybe it's not the best you can get anymore. It certainly was at the time this came out. Hong Kong martial arts. One take only. Haven't watched this yet. Director of The Eye. Crime action. Of course, everyone knows Ong Bak, a film that launched Tony Jaa into the stratosphere. High quality fights. Really good. Princess Blade, one of the earlier ones as well. This one's really good. It's like a samurai classic, but it's set in the future, basically. Pulse, Cairo. This is awesome film. Awesome film. Has a Blu-ray now, but don't actually have that Blu-ray. But the DVD is really good. Anamorphic, looks great. The subtitles that are on these discs as well are top notch. I think sometimes they got SBS to do them, and they're always really good. The Quiet Family. This was quite funny. Yeah, the director of A Tale of Two Sisters. It's very anyone who likes their humor, very dark. A family that runs a hotel. It's pretty funny. It's dark, a bit messed up, not too violent. It's fun. Classic Akira Kurosawa's Rajaman from 50 something. The years are not always here. Easy to see. 1950 on the dot. So yeah, this is quite old. Oscar winning. And yep, a classic. Rajaman. Redbeard. Another film from him. Haven't watched Redbeard yet. Neither have I watched Red Lion, actually. Another Kihachi Okamoto. Damn, he's got a killer wig. I mean, that's just vicious. I'm sure that's good. These ones are really hard to find. These Samurai Assassin ones. The Toshiro Mifune. Toshiro Mifune. Mifune doesn't sound right. It's probably Mifune. There's quite a few of these, and they're impossible to find. I lucked out on these. But yes, more feudal Japan. Samurai fun. Samurai Saga. This one's from 1959. Toho film. Sanjuro. Actually, I haven't watched this one. Unfortunately, next rental. I'm not sure why. I'm sure I can probably get a newer one. I'm always on the lookout for better quality replacements. I often find these kind of things in charity shops, so I do keep a lookout. Sanshiro Sugata. This one was pretty hard to locate, so I took whatever I could. Haven't watched this one yet. Debut from Kurosawa, his first film. So what year is this? 43. 1943. Spider Forest. I haven't chucked this one on. I remember buying it too. I really should get to this. Yeah. Woof. That looks pretty good. Unhappy souls trapped in the trees of the Spider Forest. Yeah, I should bump that up the list. Haven't seen that one. The Spiral. The sort of true sequel to The Ring, if you want to go by that timeline. Not as good as The Ring films, I found. But it is good. It is good. SPL. Sammo Hung. Donnie Yen. Stellar action scenes of martial arts fury. Recalling films from the 70s, but it's from 2005. Sword of Doom. Need to check this one out too, actually. Another Kihachi Okamoto from 1966. So you can get a flavour for the films that they put out. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, obviously from the trilogy with Old Boy and Mrs. Vengeance as well. So this one is pretty high quality and not for the squeamish. Violent. Throne of Blood. Another Kurosawa. They have violent names and they're all samurai violence, but rated PG because that's how these things have aged from like 1950. Twilight Samurai. This one's brutalized with the stickers, but also quite difficult to find. So you get what you can get. Pile is teetering. Volcano High. This is fun. Had this one forever. One of the easier old titles to find. It pops up all over the place. Like the next film, which just crops up everywhere. They must have made millions of these. Versus. And rightly so, because it's a great film. Japanese zombie action. Totally recommended. 666 Gates to Hell. Versus. 2 more to go. Weather Woman. I remember seeing this on SBS when I was like 12 and didn't know what the hell was going on. I don't think I really do know what's going on still in this film. TV presenter that's trying to spice things up, and then, at the end of doing the weather, she flips a skirt like that. Anyway, the film gets even more naughty. Erotic comedy. And I follow it with the sequel. It has a different actress and was nowhere near as good, but, it's more of that. And onto the final DVD design. There is going to have to be 2 or 3 pieces of video for this one because it goes across many shelves, but then we'll be at the end. So first of all, they went into this era of having spines that were text but different layouts, and we've got the 47 Ronin, which may be a reissue, I'm not entirely sure, but that is of course a Stone Cold classic. Daredevil in the Castle, Toshiro Mifune. Again, haven't watched this one. Death Trance, this was pretty crazy. Another one from the director of Versus. Pretty crazy indeed. Big mix of, well, you can see from that picture there, like crazy sniper rifle type thing and then samurai. It's a big mix of stuff going on here. The Myth. This is a newer Jackie Chan production. Haven't got to this one yet. Director of Rumble in the Bronx. But I don't think it's going to be an action comedy. So we will see how we go with this one. But he is a warrior across time. The Myth. Premonition. I saw this ages ago. I really should rewatch it. I remember it being really, really good though. Another Japanese horror. Yes, from the director of Ring Zero. That's why I got it at the time. That was good. So was the Red Shoes. Been ages since I watched the Red Shoes. That one was from Korea. This might have been the first Korean horror I watched, actually, going back to early 2000s. When did this come out? This came out in 2005. I think I got it when it came out, so that's about right. Recommended. Shadowless Sword. Haven't watched this yet. Modern, I think, martial arts. Yeah, 2006. In Korea. So it's, yeah, fairly newish one. And, yeah, haven't checked that one out yet. And then last of this style, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, to go with Old Boy and Mr. Vengeance. Old Boy is my favourite of the trilogy by far, but they're all good. And from this point on, they had custom coloured covers, and we'll start off with Sex and Chopsticks 1 and 2. The Forbidden Legend contains sex, sex, more sex, some porn, sex, sex, and sex. This film is outstanding. Cutie Honey. I don't care what genre of film you like or don't like. You need to see Cutie Honey. It's as ridiculous as this cover makes it look. I don't know where to start with this. Yeah, super cute and super fun. Let's just go with that. She's like an android that eats rice balls, and it looks like a cartoon, but it's not, and it's crazy, and it comes in a pink case, and it's Cutie Honey. Everyone needs to see it. 0091, The End of the Beginning. Haven't watched this yet. I got this one in real bargain lot long time ago. Futuristic female splatter action. Should probably bump it up the list. 13, Game of Death. This is good. It's quite grim. It's good though. Thai grimness. The 20th Century Boys trilogy. Slightly challenging to find that, which being modern shouldn't have been, but I'm finding less and less Eastern Eyes in the shelves these days. I mean, there's probably a lot on their website, but unless they're having a sale, it's pretty stupid to buy directly from them because their prices are not great. But I did eventually find this one. So the 3 films that make up 20th Century Boys, of which I have not yet watched yet. But I heard a lot of good things, particularly about the first one, so need to get to that. The 33D Invader. Yep, let's just take that cover in, shall we? Yep, we can take some of the back cover in as well. I think I'm allowed to show that. Nothing too outrageous there. But it's also from the director of The Sex and Chopsticks. Yep. Girl sent back from the future. Aliens. Must rebuild the human race. Boobs. Alien vs. Ninja. This was average, I think, but kind of fun. Cover was better than the film. Attack the Gas Station. I have not watched this yet, but have heard it was very good. Need to check this one out. Bangkok Knockout. More Thai action. A lot of this stuff came from, after Ong Bak. Lots of this kind of Thai action. So this was good. Barking Dogs Never Bite. A black comedy, basically, that sort of made you approach and appreciate the differences between Koreans that ate dogs versus Koreans that had them as pets. It is a country that some people do eat dogs, and yeah, it is approached that in this film. It's quite funny. It's designed to be very funny, and it was. This is nuts. Big Man Japan. You can keep that Will Smith movie. This is the one you want to watch. It's a everyday guy that turns into a giant kaiju kind of thing to, save the town from things going on, and then it's filmed in like a mockumentary kind of way. So they talk to the guy when he's not big, interview him about his life. It's actually pretty funny. Big Man Japan. Recommend checking it out. The director went on to do one called Symbol, which is the most crazy thing I think I've ever seen. And I saw it at the Japanese Film Festival. Last I heard, there is still no DVD, and that was a decade ago. Do not know what's going on with that. Symbol. Look that up. It is nuts. Big tit zombie. Does what it says on the tin. It's in 3D. Crappy 3D, but it's in 3D. Strippers vs. the Undead. Boobs. Blood, the Last Vampire. Chasing World. This was really good. There's a second one, but there's no Australian release of it. Not sure what the status is with that, to be honest. But yeah, it's sort of like a battle royale kind of thing, but Metro. Yeah, Chasing World. Very good. Chore, Killer Pigs. Monster Hog from Korea. And Cure, which is one I've not watched, but looks pretty grisly. We'll do this one in a giant pile, and then we're there. Dead Sushi. Yep, hot wasabi action. This is another in the crazy Japanese, over-the-top splatter gore. Like Machine Girl, and which we're going to get to. And Tokyo Gore Police, which is just nuts. Dead Sushi, yeah. Devilman, pretty sure it must be based on an anime. Manga, there you go, it says so on the back. Haven't watched this one yet. Icy Wastes of Antarctica, demons are accidentally released. Ta-da. Neither have I watched Dororo. From the creator of Astro Boy. The original, I'm assuming. Yes, the Grandmaster Osamu Tezuka. Original Astro Boy anime creator. So that's going to be pretty good, actually. I should get to that. Dynamite Warrior. Another one from the makers of Ong Bak. More in the same kind of thing, but yeah, a bit of a Western kind of thing going on. I remember that one being pretty fun. Firestorm, haven't watched this one. Hong Kong equivalent of a Hollywood action blockbuster. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it's going to be too. So Hong Kong, big action thriller. Goemon. Have not watched Goemon. Epic Legend of Robin Hood of Japan. To rescue a princess, he must rescue a nation. Haunters. Now, this has been remade, I think. Don't remember what that one was. Yes, it is a one man against ultimate evil. I haven't watched Haunters yet, as you can probably tell. South Korean. Special gifts. Special gifts. Okay. Infection. This was good. Worst nightmare. Creepy as hell. Japanese horror again. From the just at the end of the sort of classic the new classic era. When they're just churning them out. But this was a really good one. Definitely worth checking out. Infection. Ju-on, The Grudge, White Ghost and Black Ghost. Sort of sequels to the Ju-on films. Production quality is not as high. They're filmed on DV, I think. They're both okay. Black Ghost was the better of the two, I thought. And yeah, certainly worth watching. Just not as good as the other ones. Kamui. Once a ninja, now a hunted fugitive. I need a better release of this. Don't know why I've got a X-Rental. But yeah, stars. That's the guy that plays L in the Death Note films. So yeah, ninja fun. Kyofu from the creator of Ring. More Japanese horror. L, as I mentioned, the sort of third Death Note film. It's kind of a spin-off. It's mainly focusing on L rather than Light. Is good, is different, bit sad. But definitely worth watching, yeah. Elle Changed the World. Machine Girl. Absolute cracker. What a cracking film this is. Just brutal, brutal gore. Some mix of normal, like, prosthetics and then a lot of cheap looking CG, but it is just so utterly over the top. Utterly over the top. High impact violence. No bloody kidding. No Mercy for the Rude. Haven't checked this yet, actually. South Korean. Hip black comedy. Monkey Magic. Yet another version of Monkey. Irrepressible Monkey is back. I love how they use like the terminology from the 70s series that many of us know more than the actual original sagas. Hey, it's a good way to market it to you. But it's got Chairman Kaga from Iron Chef. He plays in this, so hey, got to check out Monkey Magic. Oh, there, that's it. Haunters was remade into Monsters. That's how I know that. And I've watched neither, but there you go. And that's the guy that plays Light in the Death Note films. So yes, Japanese take on Haunters. Mother. Don't hate my son, I won't stand it. Haven't watched Mother. But yeah, I believe it's quite a good film. Murder mystery. Mutant Girl Squad, more of the Japanese over-the-top gore horror. This one's fun. Just nuts. Unleash the freaks. Outrage. Keshi Kitano. Totally badass. Haven't watched Outrage. But all these films are good, so no problems there. Parasite 1 and 2. I bought the DVD set of this. I knew there was 2 films coming. There is a Blu-ray of part 1 and no Blu-ray of part 2. And I hit up East and I about that, and they were very frank to me and basically said it didn't sell. Nobody bought the Blu-ray of the first film, so they released it on DVD only on the part 2, simultaneously releasing part 1 and 2 on DVD at the same time at a cut price. So I bought that. But that was a sign of the times and explains why so very little East and I product is on Blu-ray at all. Even right now, they'll just do DVDs only. It is a shame. The market is small. Quick. Good name. Great cover. Speed on a Motorcycle, Korea's latest high-octane blockbuster. Raging Phoenix, producers of Ong Bak. This was good. My buddy Extro, he told me about this one. Action Cinema's First Lady, Jia Yanen. And she's the one that was in Chocolate, which I have in Blu-ray, but not from East and I. Though they did do the DVD out here. Awesome. Real. Haven't watched Real. Yeah. Coma. Virtual World. Solving Mysteries. Yeah, there you go. Anyway. Real. Revenge. A love story. Like a Hong Kong version of Seven, but better. I'd believe that. High-impact themes, violence, blood, gore, and sexual violence. That's every box ticked right there, folks. The utterly mental Robo-Geisha. Might be the craziest of all these films, particularly the ones from Noboru Iguchi, anyway. Please go and look right now for the trailer for this film. Geisha, beautiful. Utterly nuts. She's a geisha, she's a robot, all these built-in weapons, that's a circular saw in her mouth. Yes, she turns into a tank. This film is bullshit crazy. Sector 7. I've heard this is quite bad. Korean monster in an oil rig. But heard it's quite bad. Haven't got to that. Shield of Straw. Another one from that big purchase I bought Ended up being like $3 or something, so have not watched this one yet. Suicide Club. This is fantastic. Really fantastic, this one. Highly recommended. Japanese horror. From Sion Sono. Yep. It starts with all those girls jumping on the train line and getting splattered by the train. Gets better from there. Sword of Alexander. Japanese equivalent of Big Trouble in Little China. Haven't watched this yet. Got it from a closing down sale, which is why the X rental stickers. Tell me something, please. Just tell me something. Tell me anything. Just like 7 again. That's some pretty good head. SPL2. Time for Consequences. I've forgotten what the name of the series is in America, but it's not called SPL. They called it something else. Anyway. Tony R. again. Terraformers. Another Takeshi Miike film from a manga. This one sort of came very quietly, so I don't know. But it's got killer cockroaches apparently, so there you go, Terraformers. Thirst. Now, this was hyped, and I thought it was okay. Korean priest that ends up becoming a vampire. It was okay. It wasn't what I was really hoping for. This girl is badass. Jija Yanin again. Haven't watched this one. Should bump this up the queue as well. Because she is good fun. Tokyo Tribe. I don't know what this one's about. It got a big release. And then I found it cheap. I was kind of put off by the fact that it has rap battles in it, so God knows what I'm going to get, but didn't pay much. More crazy Japanese violent gore. Vampire girl versus Frankenstein girl. Yep. Gore fest of gigantic proportions. More splatter. That one's quite fun. Johnny Toe's Vengeance. This one got quite a wide release. Hong Kong action. The aforementioned Tokyo Gore Police, quite possibly the mother of all these films. Utter insanity if you've not seen this film. See that bit there against the glare where she's like half crocodile? Yeah. Just yeah. 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 Unbeatable. Haven't watched this. Mixed martial arts from Hong Kong. Wild Zero. This is fun. Japan's rock and roll zombie horror classic. It's zombies with a rock band. It's good fun. Yep. Definitely check that one out. Why Don't You Play in Hell? Another Sion Sono film. Damn, I need to watch this. Why haven't I watched it yet? I was really excited to watch it too. Might leave this one out and watch it soon. Comes in a really bizarre pastel pink case. They were all like that. It's just to go with the whole pink theme. Anyway, I've heard it's great. So, yep. Last one here. Yataman. More Takeshi Miike. Is it Miike or is it Mike? I've always said Miike. Anyway. Like Dragon Ball meets Mario Party with robots. Yataman. 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 And 4 more at the end that I missed. Ong Bak 2, which is really good. Not as good as the first one. And Ong Bak 3, which was the least good, probably. Law of Diminishing Returns with that series. But anyway, Ong Bak 3. And the Takeshi Kitano box of Violet Cop, Boiling Point, and Sonatine. You cannot go wrong with Takeshi Kitano. Beat Takeshi. Great action thrillers. He's a bit like Japan's Charles Bronson. And the last one is the Samurai Trilogy from Hiroshi Inagaki. Inagaki. Completely butchered that. And These, as I understand, are not very action at all. They're more period dramas. Samurai 1, Samurai 2, and Samurai 3. The original DVDs of those are quite hard to find, but I was pretty lucky to find this. I didn't even know it existed. Little trilogy set. Toho period drama samurai epics, which are meant to be very, very good. And that's it. That is the Eastern Eye collection. Quite proud of the Eastern Eye collection that I have amassed. I'm always looking for some old ones that I've missed. I think I've got quite a lot. I'm not sure how many that I want are still out there. And of course I still buy things when I see them that I like. I'm not trying to complete everything. There's things they've released I don't have any interest in, but most of the time they hit the nail on the head. Hope you enjoyed this slightly different video, and thanks for watching.